Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I just slammed the front door on my thumb, and then we had an emergency procedure where my 10-year-old, who loves anything having to do with Band-Aids, he's real focused in on. He runs to the bathroom, gets a Band-Aid, puts it around my thumb, and then both of my sons proceed to make fun of me for crying like a baby over, not crying, but whining like a baby over slamming my thumb in the front door. And then my 10-year-old made fun of me all the way to school about it and tried to give me a hard time. It did hurt. And so if you see this mouse doing funny things and not flowing the way the digital asset investor would normally flow with the mouse, that's what's going on. Okay, because I am a righty, and right hand move this mouse around with. So coinpaprika.com, who is one of my sponsors, they've got I got a long video today, by the way. There's tons of stuff. But it looks like things are pretty flat. They've recovered from all the inflation numbers and all that stuff, and everything's just kind of flat this morning. But no matter what the crypto markets are doing right now, I am holding my powder. And do you know why? Well, it's real simple. Link 2 is about to drop Polysign. We don't know when, but it's about to drop it. And for that reason, this is why I'm not buying any crypto right now, because I'm holding my powder for this. Polysign, 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 Polysign. Polysign, Polysign. When I first started whispering that back maybe around November 23rd, 2019, this guy went and created the recording and put it on YouTube, and it's been funny ever since. Now, speaking of Link2, they were Ray Fuentes, who works for Link2, who's the hardest working man in crypto probably. This guy was at Apex. I talked to him for a while, but he recorded some there. I don't know if this is copyright stuff. I'll take it out, but you can go to Link2's profile. It's some interesting clips here. I just wanted to show you some of them. And one of the guys on here, I had the opportunity to meet. He actually bought me a drink.
As the XRP lever has supported what we call issued assets. These are tokens that can reflect stable coins, legal obligations, ICOs, pretty much anything else. Anything that behaves like currency, anything that has value and is fungible.
You need legislators who understand technology, who understand how it works, and who understand how it can be helped to evolve.
There's Coach JV. That's Craig, I'm drawing a blank on his last name, but he was at Ripple, now he's at Super Mojo.
I think he wanted to provide them an experience that allows them to get what they need done. And I think NFTs are one of the very first opportunities to actually provide end users an opportunity to just get a really good experience.
There's Brad Combs from Digital Perspectives with Ray Fuentes. There's Wheat Say Win, and then there's Matt Hamilton and David Schwartz talking. There's me talking.
But Kai, I would love to.
Now, this guy right here is the guy that runs on XRP.com, and he also is the XPunks guy. Very smart guy. He bought me a glass of red wine, and I thank him for that. But he was a very sharp guy, very nice guy. And that meeting some of these people was just made it so worth the trip. I had a great time in Las Vegas, and I was amazed by what some of them had to say. Okay, now the Ethereum Merge is officially complete. A lot of people stayed up late last night to see the Ethereum Merge. And I want to make a point here before I get in any further to this video. I want to make sure you understand something. I want Ethereum to do well. I want Bitcoin to do well. I just want them to do well on a level playing field. I don't think it serves the crypto industry at all for Bitcoin and Ethereum to get favorable treatment, and then the SEC to go after everybody else. I don't think that's right. I don't think it's good for the industry. I think it puts a sour taste in everybody's mouth, like mine and a lot of people. And I just don't think that that can be allowed to stand. And that's why we're focused in on this, not because we don't want Ethereum to do well. That has nothing to do with it. I want XRP to do well. I want Ethereum to do well, but I want it all to be done on a level playing field, not with some advantages that are given to some that they don't deserve and others don't get those advantages. It should be create a regulatory framework where they're all equal and give them all the same treatment, not giving Ethereum and Bitcoin favorable treatment. So I want to say that, and then I'll show you what Brad Garlinghouse said. He's being a gentleman about it too. He knows what's been done. Make no mistake, he knows. But he wants the same thing that we want here, which is a level playing field. He doesn't want anything bad for Ethereum. But that doesn't mean that myself are not, that doesn't mean we're not going to be pointing out what's going on here. We're going to point it out until we get a level playing field. Simple as that. So I wanted to congratulate this morning JP Morgan on the Ethereum Merge. Oh, what do they have to do with it? Well, I'll show you what they have to do with it. I just put this video together this morning. Here you go. It's not just JP Morgan, it's also Goldman Sachs I'd like to congratulate.
The Ethereum team is really one of the most remarkable that I've ever had the privilege of working on. It's a wonderful mix of both old and new. There are some senior software developers, people who work for Goldman Sachs off Wall Street.
It's not well known, but JP Morgan has been paying attention to and involved in the Ethereum technology since before consensus existed. So maybe right at the same time. I think they built their first experiment before the Ethereum public mainnet launched. And
that's interesting because so many people think of Jamie Dimon as being this like uber crypto bear because of his comments on Bitcoin, but they've been participating in it for as long as consensus has.
It's called lying.
Yeah, JP Morgan's a big machine. Lots of activity going on there.
You mentioned Jamie Dimon, so let's bring it back to Jamie and JP Morgan. What do you think is going to be the thing that they will have to change the most or lose market share and somebody else is going to do better, faster, serve their clients better than JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs?
You can just hear the bankers panicking right now.
But what
feel the panic in their voices.
Other Wall Street insider from one of the white shoe firms, Jay Clayton, one of the largest defense firms, Sullivan Cromwell on the street, that has done work on behalf of broker-dealers for decades. So essentially, when a Wall Street firm gets in trouble, whether it's with one of the regulators or they get sued by the plaintiff's bar, these types of the firms that Jay Clayton comes from, defends Wall Street. Now, you and I have talked about this before, and the biggest problem we have with this, let's grab someone from a Wall Street defense firm like Jay Clayton and put him in charge of the regulatory function like the SEC. It's called the revolving door, where these very highly qualified lawyers come from Wall Street and they go to the regulators. So they go from defending the Wall Street firms to overseeing and regulating. So they're sitting on one side of the table as a defense lawyer, and then quite frankly, within a week or two, they're now sitting in the regulator chair, regulating their old clients, their old friends at their firm. And it's the revolving door, back and forth, back and forth. And as a result, you get this old boy network, all from Ivy League schools, all highly educated, going back and forth from the regulatory side to the defense side. And it's a very chummy, very close relationship that no one wants to ruffle any feathers. Because think about it. If you're on the regulatory side and you cause too big of a problem, you're really banging heads. You go in there and you really come in with a big stick and you really go after people aggressively. When your term is over with the SEC and you've ruffled too many feathers, you've carried too big of a stick, who's going to hire you back on the defense side to represent the people that you, for goodness sakes, you just tried to put in jail or you just tried to go after? So it creates this very incestuous, chummy relationship called the revolving door, back and forth. And we have had this problem over and over again. Not that it should come as a surprise with President-elect Trump's picks. But here we go again with just another industry insider from Wall Street being asked to regulate his own clients. It's a joke.
Now,
the Ethereum.
Look, now that you know, because it's a fact, you know that J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs were involved in Ethereum from the beginning. Let me tell you what else you know. What else you know is they tried to that this industry, and we also know that the government knows who the four Satoshis are, and they want to pretend like they don't. Okay, that's your red flag. You know what we also know? We know that they tried to do a drop gold campaign. And when they say drop, and they tried to get you to drop your gold and go to Bitcoin, that's red flag city. Well, now that JP Morgan's being brought up, let me show you what JP Morgan himself said. Gold is money. Everything else is credit. And once you realize this, you will never be poor again. And then there was this. Gold is the money of kings. Silver is the money of gentlemen. Barter is the money of peasants. But debt is the money of slaves. Well, folks, you know what my little theory is? My little theory is that Bitcoin was created for the slaves. And it's been a marketing campaign ever since. My little theory is that Ethereum was created for the purpose of continuing this whole monopoly on money that JP Morgan and friends had all along. I don't think they ever thought it would all be pieced together. And the reason they didn't think it would be pieced together is because they're so arrogant they've never been held accountable for anything. All they had to do was not sue Ripple. That's all they had to do, was leave Ripple alone, but they're too arrogant to do that. So anyway, I was actually having a conversation with my son this morning because my son has, he's 16 now and he's been playing baseball his whole life. So I told him to parlay that into giving baseball lessons to make some money, and he did. So he's been making money. He's asking me in the kitchen this morning what he ought to do with his money. I said, you ought to invest it all first. You ought to put it in gold, okay? Don't worry, Dad's got enough XRP. Put it in freaking gold, buy you some physical gold, go to open a Glenn account, and I'll probably be opening him a Glenn account soon. I was talking about it a while back, and I haven't done it yet. This is the problems you have as a parent. You just don't get around to some things. Reminds me of when we were thinking about saving for college for him and all. Luckily, we did. But anyway, so if you're thinking the same thing, Glint link will be in the top of the description with the link to link. Click on it. Tell them DAI sent you. Now, moving along. Now, I want you to think about this whole Ethereum thing. If you're the guys at Library, you've been sued. These are the Library guys right here. They're being sued for everything that Ethereum did, but did not get sued for. And this is the state of crypto right now. Think about how pissed. You can see how they are pissed. We'd like to congratulate Ethereum, a completely finished protocol as of 2014 that was never bought by anyone for investment purposes, on their pending upgrade to Ethereum 2.0 later today. As everyone knows, the Ethereum upgrade was purely charitable work by the Ethereum developers. Not a single Ethereum token was sold to pay a single dollar of income to any developer who worked on Ethereum 2.0 upgrade. If this wasn't true, the SEC would sue them like they did Library. And this is what I said, the Ethereum free pass will forever, and Congress, you better be listening, because you're going to have that little twerp Gary Gensler in front of you today. If you don't hold him accountable, you're just as bad as he is. It will forever tarnish the reputation of the SEC, if it ever had one, and Congress, unless we get a level playing field. The corruption will forever be in the sunlight for everyone to see. The names of those involved etched in history, we know the names because we have the timeline, we have the video, and we'll keep showing it. Now, this came out over the last little bit. I have so much, I might need to put it into a second video. I may go as many as 20 minutes. First, I want to show you this. This came up from this Ant1 yesterday. Listen to what they say.
Zero. Everything will go to zero. It's a cyber crash. So the White House will crash everything, including the stock markets, everything. In this event, everything goes to zero. But like a phoenix rising out of the ashes, gold and silver will revalue along with XRP and XLM. So XRP is backing gold, and XLM is backing silver. So
now, I think there's going to be some. I think there's going to be CBDCs and stable coins built on the XRP ledger that will be backed by gold, but not the XRP ledger itself.
After the event, what has value is gold and silver, XRP and XLM, and the other ISO 2.2 coins. They'll have massive value, and so will the assets on Lobster. So essentially, you talked about BlackRock. I own lots of BlackRock. I own lots of Vanguard. I own lots of well-known companies, because all those companies have had their assets seized, and they're laying them out as tokens on the Stellar network. And if it wasn't true, then all these big companies would be up in arms and saying it's a lie. It's not true. No one is. I mean, I own a lot of BHP, a lot of mining companies. One, because that's going to be huge after the event as we rebuild. But you don't see any mining company, saying it's not true. So that tells you everything you need to know. So this is definitely seized assets, and people are positioning themselves. Those who are awake, those who understand and resonate with it, they're positioning themselves so that they can take advantage of the wealth transference. But it's not a greed mentality. You've got to get this right. If you come into this with a greed mentality, you're going to do some silly things. This is about the wealth transference. I've always said to people that if you invest $500 worth of XLM into these seized assets, you're going to set yourself up for life. $1,000 worth of XLM will set up you and your generations. Anything above.
Wowzers. Interesting clip. Now, this was interesting too. This is a thread. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'm going to go through part of it. Crypto Insight UK, everything we know about the UK and their relationship with Ripple and XRP. I thought I'd show you what I know, as we go on, Ripple proof of concept. This was with Bank of England since 2017. I'm just kind of hitting the high points. Next, we have Ripple involved in the Digital Pound Foundation. And then it says Ripple's head of policy, Susan Freeman, is the chair of the foundation. And then we go down here, Live Talk, Economic Secretary of the Treasury, on the steps UK is taking to position as a global hub for crypto asset technology. Now down here's where it gets really interesting. Right in here. Remember this video where Chris Larson was meeting over there? He was meeting with the mayor of London to discuss moving investments away from the Bay Area over to London. London's ready. And then this. Next, we have a strange one. I'm unsure what this means, but wanted to mention it. Effective that Chris Larson resigned as director of Ripple in UK. Then this one. This is the one that's really interesting. My speculation would be that Chris may be doing some work with the Bank of England. This is, of course, super speculative. Now, I don't know if Crypto Insight UK realizes just how dangerous it is on social media with all the Twitter police around to even mention something that's speculative and then add the word super to it. That is extremely dangerous. They could come after you. They might put you in Twitter jail over saying something like that. You're not allowed to speculate. And you certainly aren't allowed to super speculate on Twitter. Even though we're all speculating on cryptocurrencies, you can speculate on the currencies themselves. You just can't speculate on anything outside of investing in the currency. That's my understanding, at least. I don't know. This is Dilip Rao, landed on at tube station closest to Ripple offices in London, also to the Bank of England, of course. Very interesting thread there. Then we had this from Brian Armstrong. I'm trying to decide if I should I got so much left. I'm going to cut this video off here. I'll mention this anyway. Brian Armstrong and Coinbase are basically, they've set up a website and they're integrating it into Coinbase, I guess, to show all of their users the crypto scorecards. In other words, which Congress people are pro-crypto and which ones are against crypto. and they're rating them. And I asked Brian Armstrong, I said, hey, you should add an ignored ETH-gate category into your congressional grading methodology. I know over 70,000 XRP holders who would like to know who in Congress helped create a level playing field in crypto. And it involves who ignored. Now, today, and I'll stop here, but today, this is from XRP Darren, who he was having surgery and he's finally out of it, which is my understanding. And today, Gary Gensler is going to be in front of Congress. It's going to be at 10 o'clock, about an hour and a half. And this is his opening remarks that he's already put out. And he has called them the gold standard of crypto, of capital markets. I think that's a pretty interesting title there. But anyway, we're not going to go through that. I've got all this other stuff and I'll go into it in the next video. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that if you look in the top of my description of this video, that there's a link to because they are going to be coming out with a Polyson private equity this week, and the digital asset investor is going to get some if I can, because they're not doling it out to everyone. You're going to have to be there and ready to get it. Click on the link and tell them DAI sent you.